Okay, so this is a fairly spur-of-the-moment idea to talk about the Harry Potter films, because me and Connie have kind of spur-of-the-moment decided to watch all of them again after quite a while. I mean, we've had these films on in the background, or when we've gone to sleep, countless times over the years, but to actually sit down and watch them all from start to finish in succession, I can't remember the last time I did that. Many years. Can you remember?
No.
No.
I was trying to think.
Yeah. So I love these films. I grew up with these films. The books I grew up with. You didn't, right? You didn't read the books. No, you didn't. And so, yeah, I don't know where to even start. So we watched the first film 2 nights ago, The Philosopher's Stone. Did you go see that in the cinema when it came out?
I want to say yes.
Right.
I kind of had a thing with Steve where we went to the cinema and we watched all the Harry Potter movies, like when they came out.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple that I didn't watch with her. But I can't remember if the first one was... Well, I'm pretty sure I watched it in the cinema. Because it was hyped up so much.
Yeah.
You know, so I must have gone and seen it. I know that one of the movies, though, the fifth one, what was it?
Order of the Phoenix.
Yes. I watched when I was in Japan the first time in 2008.
Cool.
On holiday.
Nice. Yeah, I saw it in the cinema. I remember the week before I was watching a BBC drama, and what's her name now? Who plays Molly Weasley? Legendary British actress. Oh my god, how is this? Julie? Oh my god, it's completely gone. Well, you know who plays Molly Weasley, right? She was in this drama, and I was getting really excited about it, just like, oh my god, she's in Harry Potter. And I was a huge fan of the books from 1999. My best friend at the time introduced me to them. So I got into Harry Potter, and then they already announced they were making the movie, so it was really exciting. And my dad took me to see it, and it was called a preview screening. So I was so excited that I was going to see this film that I thought maybe a preview screening means they only show you half an hour of it. You know, so I was waiting for them to just turn the lights off and say, "Okay, we're done now," because I couldn't believe I was watching the Harry Potter movie. And I remember sitting in the cinema watching the scene, the shot where Dudley is running down the steps and annoying Harry. Whenever I see that in the film, I just remember being in the cinema with my dad, and he quite enjoyed it actually. He was fairly surprised that he enjoyed it as much as he did. Anyway, so revisiting the first film, it's probably the most faithful to the book out of all the movies, which is pretty easy to see why, because the first book is the shortest. It's about under 200 pages, I think. So they had a chance in a 2-hour plus movie to kind of get everything in there, like the whole story pretty much. Even like little lines that are in the book, which you don't get too much of in the later films. Like very specific lines are in the film. You know, I've read the book so many times, I pick up... Right, I want to mention that. I don't think it's possible to watch the "You're a Wizard" Harry scene these days with a straight face. It's just not possible, is it? You just can't not think.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You can't not think of that particular
YouTube video.
That particular YouTube video, yeah. So we were just cracking up during that because it's just you can't not think of
what?
it. What?
And a thumping good.
A thumping good, yeah. Once you've been trained up a bit.
Yeah.
I've seen some edit of that scene as well when he gives Dudley the pig's tail, and it's like someone's like done the voiceover and he's just like, "Here, take that, you fat cunt," or something like that. It's just really funny.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Anyway, so memes aside, or video memes, if you can call them that, I loved revisiting this film. It felt like going home to me. Like it just, not to be really cheesy, but it just reminded me of such a great time in life when nothing else really mattered but movies, and you know, you didn't have much going on in your life, and it was so exciting.
And tests, that's
right.
It.
And also, how fucking lucky were we back then to see Harry Potter in the cinema, and then like 3 weeks later, Lord of the Rings. Like, what a double punch of great fantasy movies, you know, just ridiculous.
Lord of the Rings was the first movie I went back to the cinema to watch again.
Yeah.
And then I watched it a third time in the cinema. One of those times I went alone. That was the first time I went alone to the cinema too. Because I missed my bus, and it was like 2 hours till the next one. So I thought, oh, I'll just go watch a 3-hour movie. Yeah, it's just, that's Lord of the Rings, so it's not Harry Potter.
I remember there was a girl in my class who saw it like 9 or 10 times.
In the cinema?
In the cinema, yeah. And people kind of bully her over it, but they were kind of like looking down on her, which was really weird. Anyway, Harry Potter.
Well, it wasn't cool to be a geek back then.
It definitely wasn't.
There was a girl who had read the book 50 times, I think she said. And no one in the class found that impressive. It was more like, that's weird.
Yeah.
But now, thinking back, I'm thinking like, that's cool. Well, it's not cool, but it's very impressive.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, I was surprised, I logged it on Letterboxd, gave it a 9 out of 10, or 4.5 out of 5. Because that's how much I enjoy it. And I saw most of the people I know rate it like in the middle, below average, like not a very good film. Which is fine. I mean, obviously, it depends where you came into it, when you first saw it, if you were a fan of it beforehand, all that kind of stuff. But I think it's a genuinely great kids' film. Like,
and then it goes darker and darker and darker.
Yeah, but there's a real charm to this.
You grow up with the movie.
Exactly, and the kids grow up, and the themes grow up, and it's the same in the books. I mean, the first book is really child-friendly in terms, even the way it's written. And then it just gets progressively mature, which is really, really nice, and it's a smooth transition. And so to have seen all the movies, and to know how adult and dark it gets in the later films, to go back to this one is really nice. It's just like a nice kind of innocent feeling, and I can't not reference Richard Harris, who is the perfect Dumbledore to me. Just the best. And so, yeah, just lots of little things. And Chris Columbus, who directed this, and he did the first 2 films, and I guess we'll talk about that more in the next video. If we continue to do these videos, I don't know. This is really spur of the moment. Anyway, so I really enjoyed revisiting it. And yeah, well, anything you want to say about the first? I mean, we haven't really talked about it in a video together, but if there's anything, no,
we haven't
no.
reviewed. No.
No.
Shall we? No. Oh, look at Lily. She looks rough. She just woke up. It's just it's just a great start to a great franchise. I mean, I love it, but it's so Christmassy.
It is. And you said that about the music as well.
Spirit. Yeah, the music and the music. Oh no, that's the Chamber of Secrets. The theme to Chamber of Secrets sounds exactly like the theme for Prometheus. No, not Prometheus.
Yeah, Prometheus.
Okay. I mean, it's fun to go back and watch it because you can see how much the actors have grown as well. Hermione is great from the start. Harry, he's okay.
Yeah.
He's probably the worst out of the 3, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Ron probably has that personality.
Yeah.
I think a little bit. Harry has to be someone else in a way.
Yeah.
You can tell he's kind of like... You can tell how he's trying sometimes, especially when he's with Uncle Vernon, I think, in this one scene. It's like magic! Who else are great?
A great classic bit of trivia is when... Actually, I think that was on the 3rd film, actually. Yeah, I think it was the 3rd film. The director asked the 3 main actors, the kids, to write an essay about what their character is. And Emma Watson wrote like pages and pages of stuff. Daniel Radcliffe wrote just 1 page. And what's his name? Rupert Grint just didn't do anything. Which was just like, fitting within their characters, but it was what the real actors were doing. Anyway, yeah.
I want to say, you can tell how much Harry has grown as an actor within the 2nd movie, even.
You think?
He is a lot better in the 2nd movie than the 1st.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that in the 2nd one, I guess. But I think the cast is just so good.
Yeah. Like,
all British cast, obviously J.K. Rowling was like, if you're going to do the movie, got to do it in the UK. British actors, because they want to do it in, like, America, obviously, with Steven Spielberg. Apparently, that was the rumour.
Oh, God.
And, to cast these unknown kids, I think was a great move. Obviously a bit of a gamble, how they would turn out over the years. I think it was a good gamble. They turned out pretty good.
All of them, really.
Yeah.
Like Neville as well. And
yes, Neville.
And Draco Malfoy.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, and then you have, like, Alan Rickman doing Snape, who's great. Robbie Coltrane, just the perfect Hagrid, just so good.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the story as well, and it's very simple compared to the other ones, but you know, there's just good twists, and it's just a good, enjoyable story, I think. But mainly it's the nostalgia as well, I think.
Mm.
And but yeah, it's a great start to a great franchise, as you said.
Mm.
Anything else you want to add?
Mm.
No, yeah. So that's it, really. Just yeah, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I still do not know why they call it the Sorcerer's Stone in America. Not quite sure at all. But anyway, that's something. I feel like oh yes, okay. One thing.
Sorcerer means wizard, so the wizard's
Yeah, I guess. One thing I should say is the CGI has dated awfully. And I feel like I've said that
Yeah.
before, but it's like it's because I mean there's bits where they do like a digital double for one of the kids, and it's just awful, you know.
I think I especially notice with different kinds of creatures and stuff like that.
Yep.
How black isn't black on them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The black is grey, and that makes it stand out. It doesn't have the same depth.
Yes.
But Dobby,
Mm-hmm.
compared to, for example, the blue little creatures,
Yeah.
he is a lot more well done
Mhm.
than the blue. What are they called? Twixies, Tixies,
Twixies, Tixies, Pixies,
Pixies.
freshly caught Cornish pixies.
Yeah, like they stand out because the black on them is grey. You know what I mean? Like when
Yeah.
you're shadowed and stuff like that. We
Yeah.
we all have black within the darkest part of the shadows of our clothes and whatever. And pixies didn't really, but Dobby has more depth. I noticed. I was looking at that yesterday when we were watching it.
Yeah.
The first movie,
I think that I would be on board if they were to do a special edition of the Philosopher's Stone and just redo some of the special effects.
Just call George Lucas.
But but yeah, it was an exciting time as well. I remember the trailers coming out and just how exciting it was, and so I'm always going to love this film. You know, I know people look at this film in the context of all the other movies and they go, "Wow, it's nowhere near as good." But to me, it's one of my favorites, I think, and the same can be said for the second one. But where would you?
I'm trying to make her uncomfortable, but she just stays.
Yeah. Where would you put the first film, like in terms of like favorites and stuff?
Oh, out of all 8?
Yeah.
I can't do that until we watch all 8 again.
Okay. Well, we'll save that for the end.
But I know what number 1 is.
Okay. So, and I think I do too. So, I don't know if we'll do all of these. We'll see. Maybe I'll only post these if we do end up doing all of these.
Hello? Hey?
Okay then.
She likes to stand like this, and then she falls asleep.
And with
No,
that,
she doesn't.
I'll see you in the next one.
It's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans of Carlin into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you, 'cause